Okay, so today we're taking a deep dive into something that can really make or break relationships,
I wonder.
and that is ego.
Oh, yeah, ego.
We've all got one, but when it gets out of control, it can cause some serious problems.
Yeah, definitely. It's everywhere.
You shared a fascinating article with me called Navigating Ego in Relationships,
That's the one.
and that's what's fueling our deep dive today.
Sounds good.
So before we jump into the nitty-gritty, I think it's important to define what we're actually talking about here when we say ego in the context of relationships.
Okay, yeah, what do we mean?
Because it's not just about having confidence or a healthy sense of self.
Right. That's important.
The article really hones in on those negative manifestations of ego,
Like what?
like needing constant validation, always having to be right, or just lacking that ability to see things from your partner's perspective.
So it's not just about self-esteem. It's more like
Yeah.
self-importance.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's where the trouble starts brewing, wouldn't you say?
Totally. When someone's ego is calling all the shots, it can really damage the connection.
Absolutely. So the article delves into the causes of this inflated ego, and it lists past experiences, social media comparisons, even power dynamics within a relationship.
Oh, interesting.
But the one that I found particularly fascinating was the impact of social media.
Oh, social media, yeah.
Because let's be real, social media often presents a very distorted view of reality.
It's everyone's highlight reel.
It is. It's like everyone's living this perfect curated life.
Right, and it's so easy to fall into that comparison trap.
Oh, constantly.
And then you start feeling inadequate.
Exactly. And that can fuel that need for validation. You know? It's like we're trying to prove our worth in this online popularity context.
And that just feeds the ego.
Exactly. And the article doesn't sugarcoat the consequences of this inflated ego.
No, it
It can lead to constant conflict, emotional distance, a real breakdown of trust.
So basically, it creates a toxic environment.
It really does. It becomes really difficult to foster genuine intimacy when you're constantly battling those ego clashes.
I see, yeah.
And, the article gives some really relatable examples, like the partner who insists on being right about everything.
Oh, I know that one.
Even something as simple as what kind of pasta to buy,
I know, it's like, does it really matter?
Or the friend who's constantly fishing for compliments.
Yeah, oh yeah.
These might seem like small things on the surface,
They do.
but over time, they chip away at the foundation of the relationship.
Like little cracks in a foundation
It-
leading to a collapse.
Precisely. And speaking of wisdom, the article brings in insights from some heavy hitters in the relationship world, like Dr. Sue Johnson, who emphasizes the importance of emotional intimacy.
Ah, interesting.
Her work suggests that when our needs for connection are met, that ego kind of takes a back seat.
Because we feel secure, we don't need to
Exactly.
puff ourselves up.
Exactly. And then there's Dr. Esther Perel,
Oh, I love her.
who's all about mutual understanding and respect.
Yes, creating that space where both partners feel seen and heard.
Exactly. And that's so key because it's not about one person's ego dominating the relationship.
It's about finding that balance.
It is. It's about fostering a dynamic where both partners can truly thrive.
Yeah, like that.
So we've talked about the problem. We've seen the damage it can cause.
Right.
Now for the million-dollar question. What can we do about it?
Give me the solutions.
The good news is this article offers some practical solutions, starting with self-awareness.
Ah, the classic.
It's so important to be able to recognize those ego-driven patterns in ourselves.
Become aware of those knee-jerk reactions.
Exactly, because once you see them, you can start to choose a different response.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, of course, there's communication, but not just talking, but really listening.
Really hearing the other person.
Exactly, and trying to see things from their perspective.
Stepping into their shoes.
And that brings us to empathy, which is like the ultimate antidote to ego.
I love that. Empathy as an antidote.
When we can put ourselves in our partner's shoes,
Uh-huh.
we're less likely to get caught up in that self-centered spiral.
So it helps us break free from that ego trap.
Absolutely. And the article also mentions the importance of humility, gratitude,
Oh, gratitude, yeah.
and even seeking feedback from our loved ones.
So it's about actively working on the relationship
It is. It's about prioritizing the we over the me.
and being open to learning and growing.
Exactly. And one practical tip I love is incorporating a gratitude practice.
Oh, I love that.
Like taking a few minutes each day to reflect on what you appreciate about your partner.
So shifting the focus away from what's missing and appreciating what's there.
Exactly. It's a powerful way to cultivate a sense of connection and counteract that ego-driven desire for more, more, more.
Because when you're grateful, you're less likely to be grasping.
Exactly. So the big takeaway here is this. Ego is a part of us. It's natural, but it doesn't have to run the show.
We can choose to manage it.
Exactly. With self-awareness, empathy, open communication, we can build stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
It's about remembering that a relationship is a partnership.
It is.
Not a competition.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with a little something to ponder.
Oh.
As you go about your day, think about this. What are some subtle signs of inflated ego that you might be overlooking in your own relationships?
That's a good one.
It's always good to check in with ourselves, right? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into ego in relationships.
It is my pleasure.
And until next time, happy relating.
Happy relating, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.